It's 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Believe in that. This poor girl got up at 9 o'clock to be with me. Actually, she got a lot earlier than 9 o'clock. It is, I believe it's somewhere around 11 p.m. I'm sorry, 11 a.m. in Chicago. It is 12 high noon here in New York City. Hello, everybody. A special live, you could tell we're not used to being up this early. Special live edition of What's the Buzz, America's Best Podcast. Joined as I am always, this pain in the ass, Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. How you doing, Amelia?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. But it's Saturday. I'm not used to seeing you on the weekend.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a very special occasion that brings us here. I have a really, really interesting show today. We have a very special guest. I'll introduce you in a minute. I have been reading over the last 3-4 months articles and watched some programming on the new amputee movement. These amputees, you would think, I'll feel sorry for them because they don't have any legs or limbs they can't get around, or in some cases, no arms. Don't feel sorry for these folks because I got news for you. They're getting around, and there's all kinds of new science now to help them get around. Right? And I bring this show to everyone based on personal experience. This hit close to home with me. My late sister was a double amputee. First, she lost her foot. Then she lost her leg up to her knee. And then she was about to lose them both. And fate jumped in and she passed away, and I miss her every day. But what she went through was interesting because she too, my sister never let anything stop her. Even up to like a day before she died. Just like literally 24 hours before she passed away. She was rolling herself all over the place. So I have a young lady on the show, and I want to introduce her to you. Her name is Stephanie Dudley, and she is an adventurer. She's a daredevil. She is living life to her fullest, on the move amputee. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I should tell everybody that your real name is Lauren Stephanie Nadolski, but that your married name is Stephanie Dudley, and that's the name that you use professionally at work and doing your business. So I want to tell everybody, I want to put this out there. Stephanie is a medical receptionist, and God bless her for that, because she deals with pain in the ass patients all day long. Kind of like what you deal with, Amelia.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, that's what Amelia does for a living. She's a medical. What do you call yourself? A scheduler, right?
Yes, scheduling appointments for patients. Yes,
Absolutely. And so, Stephanie, once again, welcome to the show. I want to talk to you a little bit about life as an amputee. You weren't always this way. At some point, something jumped into your life and intervened. And so I want to find out what it is that kind of, I don't want to say, it kind of changed your life here.
Well, what led up to my amputation is all I did was trip over a curb. I tripped over a curb.
Really?
My foot dislocated, so my toes were pointing to the right of me. And when they repaired it, it was still a little crooked, but it was fine. I, was walking on it for a couple years. Then they decided the pins needed to be taken out. So I let the pins get taken out. Then about a couple minutes later, I went septic and had what is the word? Staph infection. I was in a coma for 4 days because I had sepsis staph in my ankle joint, my right elbow, my left knee.
From tripping over a curb.
Wow.
I mean, literally, that was all you did?
That's all I did.
I have to digest this. Okay,
I know.
so
I mean, think about how many times we've tripped over things.
you're walking about doing your whatever business you're doing. All of a sudden, you trip on the curb. Okay, so you get yourself upright again, right? And you
Yeah.
think nothing of it, right?
Right.
And you go on with your business.
Right.
And then, so when did things start to go south on you? How long after that? And
Af-
what was the noticeable sign?
well, it was actually, I hate to say it, but a medical mess up, a medical screw up.
Does that surprise us, Amelia?
No, it does not.
Not at all.
Not
You
in
know
the
how
least.
many times we've talked about that kind of shit here? I mean, stuff here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, after the sepsis, I had to have a PICC line in my heart. And so I had to go home with vancomycin. That's the last resort antibiotic. And I had to do that every 8 hours for 6 weeks. And so that made me lose my hair. It was like cancer treatment. And you have to inject it into yourself for 10 minutes. So I had to put a timer on and do it slowly, inject it for 10 minutes. So I'd have to wake up in the middle of the night to do this shit. So anyway, that's how I got rid of the infection once I got home.
Yeah.
But then that was in May. But then in September, it came back. So I had to have another PICC line, vancomycin, all that stuff. So anyway, the doctor a couple months later says, the staph infection was in your ankle joint. So we need to remove your ankle joint and fuse the bones together. But mind you, this was only a couple months after all this shit happened. Because once you go have staph infection, it's like little Pac-Mans eat your bone. So they have to, and it makes it soft. So they have to clean out the soft spots.
Sure.
So my bones were still soft. But see, as a patient, I didn't know this shit. I didn't know. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No. Go ahead.
No, please.
I let him fuse the bones together.
Yeah.
And then that was September. Then in December, he says, "Oh, I was afraid this was going to happen." And I'm like, "What? What are you afraid?" My foot was literally shifting to the right off of my ankle bone.
Okay, stop right there, because I have to tell you, I mentioned my sister. That's how it started with my sister. It all started in her foot and her ankle.
Yep.
And what they said at the time, and I still don't believe it, I think it was a bullshit lie. What they said at the time was that it was a circulatory issue with her foot. Her foot wasn't circulating the blood, is what they said. I don't believe that, because her feet were never discolored. And the first sign of poor circulation is discolored skin.
Yeah.
And if it stops circulating altogether, you end up with gangrene.
Right.
Okay, so I never believed that. I would much more readily or easily believe a compromised immune system than a circulatory problem. Did they give you any indication that your immune system was in any way altered or compromised or in any way afflicted?
No, they didn't. And what I don't understand is, see, I was on vancomycin, the last resort, meaning it should have been compromised.
Yeah.
With the immune system, with all that, and no one ever mentioned that. And so he kept telling me every appointment that the foot was shifting to the right. Foot was shifting, and I'm like, well, put hardware in it, move it back, fix it.
Sounds like a great idea to me.
Exactly. Put it right back where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So every time I would mention this, he's like, no, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. So, okay. So that was December. And then we get to July and it's shifted all the way to the right. I'm 2 inches shorter on my leg, limping, walking. And I don't know if you've ever heard of a Charcot foot deformity for diabetes, but that's what it looked like. It's deformed now. So in July, he says, we need to amputate. I'm like, well, excuse me? So of course I get, other opinions. I went to the best place was in Seattle here, Polyclinic.
Yeah.
They said that the fucking doctor was an idiot. That bone was so soft that he should have not have attempted to try to fuse bones together. That he had
It's
an error.
remarkable, utterly remarkable how inept and unqualified some of our medical, quote unquote, medical
Right.
professionals are. Amelia, you work in the medical field. This has got to be making you crazy. I'm sure you've got questions.
It is, because back when he said that he was afraid of that, didn't he like at least mention that to you at first, that like these are our options, before he even said that to you?
No, he just said that. And what makes me mad is I didn't have a witness. So it's like,
Like your word against his, basically, or a hearsay. Like he was the right and you're in the wrong.
Right, exactly. And I just begged him, please put hardware in, fix it. And he kept saying no. And it's just complete bullshit that I had to even hear the word amputation.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
It confounds me to the point of such frustration. You have no idea. So I'm sure there's more to the story here. So continue.
Yes.
Well, I got several opinions. The polyclinic did say he messed up. You know, he really messed up, and he should have put hardware in. He shouldn't have done the fusing. I went to Harborview, and they are the ones he took an x-ray of my ankle, and then he showed me an x-ray of a normal ankle and put them side by side. And he put his hand on my knee and he said, "I'm sorry to tell you, but your talus has collapsed." And I was like, "What?" Which is the main bone that holds your ankle and your foot and that bone, I think the tibia together.
Yeah,
So
well, it collapsed because it was because they tried to alter something that was too soft to fix.
Right.
It hadn't been healed. That's just common. You don't have to be a doctor to figure that one out.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
Right.
Oh, I got questions. Boy, do I got some questions. Okay. So here's the question. First questions first. All right. Let's talk about the bad news you're given. Okay, so you're given some semblance of bad news. All right, and I can accept that because we all get bad news from time to time. On the other hand, at some point the bad news stops, right?
Yes.
And somebody knows hopefully somebody knows what they're doing.
Right.
So when did the bad news, quote unquote bad news, stop for you, and you started getting the answers you were seeking?
Well, I went to Harborview, and when he told me that, he showed me a lady and he said, "See her face, see how she's smiling. She was having deformity issues like you. She decided the amputation was the best, and she has the best quality of life now." And so I didn't want to hear that yet, but I went to Polyclinic.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, look, we could do a Terminator type thing in your ankle. But we could do like a Terminator fix and all this hardware and stuff, but you'll be in a cast for a while." And I'm tired of casts. So he says, "I think, an amputation would be the best thing for you to get back your life back."
Okay. So and in many cases, that's a drastic fix in many cases, like a last minute fix. Or I should say a last resort fix. I mean, choosing to cut off a body part is not something that you give a lot of credence to.
No, it's not.
Right.
So it's a very serious decision. I know when my sister went through it, it was painstaking, but in her case, I understood why she had to do it. I'm trying to figure out if there might have been another way for you to go rather than amputation. Did they offer you another out? Let's put it that way.
Polyclinic said that they would try to well, basically you need a talus for this process, and I didn't have one. It was collapsed.
Yeah.
So they offered to try to put all this hardware in and lift it up and shift it back over, but he couldn't guarantee. And he was afraid of the infection coming up.
Yeah.
He was afraid of, I guess they love metal. So he was afraid that the infection might come back. And I would be in casts for like months and months. And I was tired of being in casts. I was just so tired of it.
I'll tell you, one of the things that, like I said at the beginning, I trolled you for a little while. One of the things that caught my eye was a prosthetic leg all bedazzled with, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, tell everybody what I'm talking about.
The beautiful model leg that's all blinged out with diamonds and healed and everything.
Yep, it's got sequins and diamonds.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, did you see that, Mill?
Yeah, because you have a chance to correct your prosthetic leg after a while, right? Because it goes in stages, actually.
Yes.
Because you have to have like your leg actually has to heal after the surgery,
right.
And it has to go in stages because of the swelling.
Yes, because it shrinks down majorly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you have a lot of process before you had to do the stages, or how many stages did you have to go through for that?
Well, the first stage is once it's off, you have to wear this like pantyhose type thing called a shrinker.
Yes.
So it shrinks it down. It helps get the swelling out, and you wear that for a couple months. And the thing is while you're having this shrinker on, they also tell you to massage it. And it's like, to me, my background is modeling, and I was not okay with this yet. So touching it and massaging it was not a thing for me yet. But I did wear the shrinker, and then they put me in a pin lock system at first. And that's where you put it's basically you put the sleeve on, and there's a pin on it, and then you just put it in the hole, and that's how you wear your leg.
Yeah.
So I went down about 3 legs before I got to the one that I'm wearing now that has an actual ankle, and it's hydraulic and it bends.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
They have done a lot since from like, I remember when they first started that, hydraulics and everything I see a lot of runners and that actually have that, and they have won a bunch of marathons.
The science has come light years, hasn't it? It's remarkable.
It has.
Absolutely remarkable, the technology. Just in the last, let's say, my sister's been gone 5 years now. So probably just in the last, say, 5 to 7 years, I've seen the technology ramp up, with hyper speed to get amputees mobile again. And so once you started, Stephanie, to get mobile again, did you pick right up, or did it take some? Is my mic cutting out, you guys?
My camera's weird.
It's just a little,
because I'm hearing a little static in the background.
Yeah.
Is that me?
I believe so, but as you were getting back to your daily routine and everything, how hard was it to start? Like, did you tell yourself, you know what, I'm just going to start getting back to my daily routine, or did it take you a while to start getting back to everything?
It took a while because they don't tell. Like, I had a peer counselor through Hanger Prosthetics who does my leg, but before I had the amputation, he had an amputation. So he was supposed to be my peer counselor and help me tell me the realities of what's going to happen afterwards, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me tell you, get my leg taken off, and they don't tell you this crap that you're going to go through major like grief and loss.
Yeah.
Like I went through those stages. It's is my microphone bad?
No, it's good. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
You're fine.
Where you go through
now. I'm playing around with your mic, Steph. So don't.
Oh, thank you.
The feedback we were getting was actually coming from your end. So it seems to be a little better right now.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, you guys. Go continue.
Well, You know, what are they? The few stages of the
Yes.
anger, the denial,
Mhm.
you know, you get
Why me kind of thing.
depression.
Mhm.
And then finally, and I didn't realize how much upper body strength you're going to need.
Oh, yes.
Like you
Oh
need to
yeah.
lift yourself on the walker because you're going to be on a walker for a while.
Oh God, yeah,
And
sure.
then the wheelchair. So nobody prepared me for these things that I would love to be a peer counselor to someone else and be like, look, you're going to have stuff you don't realize that you're going to go through.
I know somebody. I worked with somebody in Atlantic City. This woman had such incredible upper body strength. She literally looked like a female bodybuilder.
Wow.
I mean, I'm serious. Everything she did was with her shoulders, arms, and all upper body. She had no legs.
Yeah.
She literally had no legs, but she was jacked up. She looked like, Hulk
Mhm.
Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
She had some. No, I'm serious. I'm being very
Mhm.
serious. She had
That's
some big
great.
arms, and she was like muscular too. But that's just from. I mean, she rolled herself everywhere, and this
Yeah.
woman didn't let her. Did you ever see somebody take themselves up and down steps on a wheelchair? She
What?
used it. This
Wow.
woman would take herself up and down stairs. That's how strong she was. Okay, it's just crazy.
Oh,
That's
It's crazy.
amazing.
I want to talk about the. They say you compensate for one of your senses when you lose another. So how did you compensate for the loss of limbs? What other senses do you have that were strengthened by your loss?
Let's see. I'd say the feeling of my other foot really it
Interesting.
helped guide me.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
You know, kind of like in the
Yeah.
wheelchair. Like, is there something in the way? And I felt it, and because I couldn't feel, yet. You can't feel when you're wearing an amputated. Sorry, prosthetic. You can't feel
Mhm.
your foot, and that's one thing that I saw in Switzerland. They're trying the technology to start feeling.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like I get my foot, it's kind of funny. I get my foot stuck under my file cabinet at work all the time because I don't know
Oh,
I don't know where it's going.
well, I was going to ask you about that because you work in a medical setting.
Mhm.
Um, were the people at your workplace sympathetic to your newfound dilemma, and did they offer to modify your work environment because of it?
Well, actually, some of them didn't know about it because I was wearing pants that were baggy.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
hid it
then,
from folks.
Yeah.
yes,
You
yes,
sneaky little shit, huh?
yeah.
Oh,
Or
all
sometimes our
right.
scrubs are really nice and big, right? That
Well,
they
let
Yeah.
me ask you: did you hide it out of embarrassment, or did you hide it just because there was nobody's freaking business?
Well, both. At the same time, I was
Okay,
still
that's
a
an
little
honest
embarrassed.
answer.
The reason is
Yeah,
it's only been about 2.5 years for me, so
right.
I've just now been getting over the grief and loss part.
Well,
So that
that's they say you go through the stages of grief, the 5 stages of grief.
Mhm.
Well, they say 5 or 7 now. I don't know, whatever it is, but it changes every couple of years.
Right, exactly.
I'm a traditionalist, so I'm going to say 5. Okay.
yes.
So you go through anger, resentment, negotiating, all this other stuff. Okay. What was the hardest part of that journey for you to really wrap your head around? What was the hardest part to really to come to terms with?
The anger, it could have been prevented.
Yeah,
And
I
because of
would
our laws,
absolutely agree with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, because of our
Listen.
laws, I couldn't sue the doctor because the
Oh,
Really?
statute
back
of
up. Why?
limitations is
That
up.
was going to be my next question.
Why?
Yeah,
Why? Yeah. Why?
statute of limitations.
Are
Yeah,
you shitting me? There's a statute of limitations on this?
yes, there's a statute. and I'm very angry. And
Amelia,
that's
you
what I
wear
told
you aware of that, Amelia?
I didn't think there would be. I thought there would be like
I
you
thought it
could
was
do it
open
anytime.
ended.
Yeah,
Who the hell
Yeah.
knew?
but you
You
know,
got you have a statute of limitations on that kind of injury?
Yes.
Really? I'm
I
flabbergasted.
know because I mean, you would think that you could be able to sue him at any time for doing malpractice.
Right.
That's what I
Well,
would suspect, but I guess
Yeah.
I'm wrong. That's
I
crazy.
have written letters to Patty Murray, which is our senator. I've written a letter to Jay Inslee, our governor, to
Hmm.
try to get this changed to help other people in the future
Yeah.
who you know, they say I had to go all the way back to when it was broken. I'm like, excuse me? No. I'm talking about he wouldn't put hardware in. That's how I want to go back to where I
Yeah.
had to have an amputation.
Or the when I was afraid of this was going to happen stage. That's when you know.
That's what I was talking
It
about.
Yeah,
it seems to me, and again, I'm just going to make an observation here. It seems to me that the initial injury was accidental. Okay,
Yes.
that was accidental. So we know that. You know, nobody plans to trip. Okay, you trip.
Right.
no.
The secondary issue that I have is someone that was not sufficiently medically qualified to be even looking at you.
Right.
I would have looked into what this guy's qualification or male or female, whoever it was, look into their qualifications as are they an orthopedic doctor? Should they even be talking about broken or brittle or strained bone?
Right.
Because that's the problem. That's the fundamental problem that seems to me is if you're going to put a linchpin somewhere, that seems to be the linchpin for me.
Right.
That's at least in my opinion, I think that's a critical point. The second critical point is going ahead and doing a surgical procedure on bone that is not fully healed. That's soft bone.
Right.
Okay. And that's where they made a mistake. A huge
mistake.
mistake.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Huge
Absolutely.
mistake. So, do you have any recourse aside from suing someone? All right. Is there any recourse that you have that that may give you either legal satisfaction or the mental satisfaction where you can say, "Aha! I knew I was right."
I haven't found a way. I'm looking. If anyone has any ideas.
Well, I will tell you that this show here will look into options for you. We don't
Absolutely,
just
yes.
bring people on and throw them to the wolves.
No,
We bring them on and then we offer help.
absolutely.
So
That'd be great.
that's what we're going to do. Amelia,
Yes,
this is your baby. This is your area.
yes.
Okay. We need to look into what recourse Stephanie has for mental or physical satisfaction or gratification, barring the legal element, because apparently she can't sue anybody, but there's got to be some other legal avenue of recourse.
Yes,
You
especially
understand?
being an advocate about that, and she can speak around that as well. Be an advocate for others that this could happen to you. Be careful.
Absolutely.
Watch for this
Yes.
doctor, especially. You wouldn't be talking negative about this provider doctor,
Mhm.
but you would be saying, "This is what happened to me. This is my story. Be
Yeah.
careful with the, if your bone is this way, please make sure this doesn't happen to you." You can be an
Yes.
advocate,
Well,
just like you were saying earlier.
Amelia, isn't that common sense? Isn't that just common sense?
It means a lot of the providers will tell you, say, you can't talk bad about me, or this will be, because they could sue you at any time.
They could sue you for, yep. slander and all
crazy.
that.
Yeah. Yes. They can sue you at any time, but you can't sue them after a certain time.
Yeah.
Isn't
That's
that
the law.
crazy?
It is. It's very crazy.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
just-
It's like that. But where I work at, the same thing. You can
Yeah.
badmouth them as much as you want, but
What bothers me too is that medical professionals are not taking care of one of their own.
no.
That's
Right.
what bothers me. That you work for these people, you work in the hospital. Please tell me, because you're going to make my day. Please tell me that the doctors that worked on you are the people you work for.
No, because I work at
Really?
a children's hospital.
Yeah, she works at a children's hospital.
Well, I mean, there are. Look, there are amputee children too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you went to an outside source, and they did what they did. All right. So the anger is going to last for a while. We know that. At some point in your life and in your journey, you say, you know what? I'm tired of being tired. I'm sick of being sick, and I'm over getting angry. And so
Yes.
and then you take on that peace and then you go, okay, I got a clear head now. Whose ass do I kick first?
Yeah.
Okay.
My own.
Yeah.
My own.
Yes.
Right? Exactly.
Mhm.
Let's talk about what you're doing now to combat this. I had made kind of a bold statement here saying that you're an adventurer and daredevil and living life to its fullest. I want to tell people Stephanie, in point of fact, was a model.
Yes.
Yes.
And I still got that blingy leg emblazoned in my brain right
Why
now.
don't we ask her after the break?
Yes, we have a break to do, and it is that time, 12:30. Let's do this. Let's take a small commercial break, and we'll be right back with Stephanie Dudley. Take care, folks. Sit back and enjoy a word from our sponsor at Shopify.
Jess wanted to start a business when something surprising happened.
Today, I'm going to teach you how to crochet.
She started crocheting, like a lot. And her friends noticed.
Jess, you need to sell those.
So she signed up for Shopify and started building her business.
Yes, I love that.
And after a lot of hard work, this happened.
Oh my gosh, I just made my first sale!
You see, every day, hundreds of businesses get their first sale on Shopify.
We got ding!
And the next could be you. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life
And become your own boss.
build it on Shopify.
We are back with What's the Buzz, America's Best Podcast. And yes, Amelia, you're doing fine. She sent me a little note over here on the side. And even Stephanie
Stephanie's
said, you're
doing
doing great.
fantastic.
See, Stephanie is part of our little chat. She's got a little chat box over there so she can see what we're talking about, which I like that because we have a little conversation going on the side here you guys don't know nothing about.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your modeling career.
Yes.
How'd you get started in modeling, and are you still active? Are you thinking about going back? Because you certainly can.
Yes. That'd be great as an amputee. I'd love to put on that bling leg.
Mhm.
I started at 15. It's kind of weird. I was at home, and my sister's friend said, you're 6'1", and usually they are ballerinas or models. You should really get into one of those. I was like, what? And so anyway, remember that Barbizon School of Modeling?
Oh God, sure.
Okay, I went to them, and
They should have called it the Amazon School of Modeling. Those women were huge.
yeah.
They were all 9 feet tall.
Yes. So I went there, and they basically groom you as to how to do your makeup, hair, how to walk on the runway, how to even do a commercial, things like that.
I'll show him how to do a commercial.
And after graduation, I got signed with QuickBook Nationwide and did modeling for them in
Excellent.
Seattle. But the thing is there's not much opportunity in Seattle. You would have
Yeah.
to move to New York or California
Yeah.
to continue. So something happened in my life to where I had to stop. I'll just say my fiance had passed away when I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And so just the loss of that, I just didn't want to
It
continue.
was
at the
very
moment.
traumatic for a young woman, I'm sure.
Yes.
So
Yeah, 20.
at that point now, you put that on the side. You put it on the side burner, or you just like, are you stopping at you're forgetting about it, or is it something that you think you're going to revisit later in life? The modeling.
I'd love to revisit it. I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can help you revisit it. Yeah, because I got a little. I always have a surprise up my sleeve.
Ooh.
Okay? Even though I got short sleeves on.
He does. And I see that you're also active with the Tripause Foundation. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Don't steal my questions, you little shit.
See how he calls me?
I just find it a great foundation. It's amputees for cats and dogs and horses, and I think it's amazing that they can make prosthetics for them. And no one ever thinks about that. And they adapt too, and that's they adapt, and they're just walking with their 3 little legs, and sometimes they don't even need a prosthetic. But I just discovered it. I found it and I thought it's amazing. I've been donating to them. I'd like to get more involved with them.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because
maybe we could, Amelia. I think we maybe could make that happen.
Oh, absolutely. Because we had one here that got lost. He was a little chihuahua. He had 3 legs, and luckily he's found. And I know that somebody got together and they're going to get him a little prosthetic leg. So
that's great.
It's remarkable. The whole prosthetic thing is remarkable. And here's the most remarkable thing about it. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is, and I find this every time I say this to an audience, I find it fascinating. Prosthetics were not invented by a doctor. A doctor had nothing to do with prosthetics. Would you like to venture a guess, Stephanie? Who invented the first prosthetic?
A soldier in the Civil War?
Nope.
I don't know.
The current modern day prosthetics were invented by a Hollywood special effects makeup person.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Special effects in Hollywood. You know how they used to make robots and stuff? That's what happened. Somebody in Hollywood invented the prosthetic leg.
Wow.
And the Hollywood said, here, this is what I'm doing. If you want to replicate it, go ahead. Now there are whole industries dedicated to making prosthetics.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're talking about prosthetic legs, arms, fingers, joints. Every part of your body can be absolutely flawlessly replicated. And I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you this. The entire body can be prosthetically replicated, even to the point where the internal organs can be duplicated. They have 3D printers now that will print you a heart and a liver, and it's crazy how this stuff works. But people are living because of it. Remarkable. What have you not done that you would like to try your hand at?
I would like to try getting on a horse again and hiking.
Okay. Let's see who we can get a hold of.
Right. Yeah, because there's where I live here in Florida, there's just down the street, there's a place where they can actually teach, I guess, give you horse riding lessons and things like that. And they do that once in a while for the summertime for children.
Yeah.
Special needs children and things like that.
And I know they have Look into that because there are programs. I have to find out what it is in Washington State. But there are programs for developmentally and physically disabled children and young adults, but there are also programs available, horse riding programs for amputees. And I know that exists in every state, all 50 states.
Yes, there is. There's got to be somewhere nearby.
I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. I normally would, but I just drew a blank. But Amelia, look into that.
Oh,
Stephanie,
absolutely.
please,
I
and then
definitely will.
get back to her with it.
Of course.
And there's also, and I believe I'm trying to remember where this guy is. There's a guy named Lee Asher. If you guys know who he is, Lee Asher has an animal sanctuary called the Asher House. And I know he's doing a lot of wonderful things with animals and, with replacing limbs for them, amputee, prosthetics. I'm wondering, and I know that animals are a great support mechanism for amputees as well. Like a service dog or stuff like that. Do you have a service dog?
No, I would like one. I have cats at the moment.
Okay, Nelia.
Yes.
Look into service dog for Stephanie, Washington State. Okay. Write this stuff because she writes everything down when I tell her, and then she does the work.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we'll help you out here.
Oh, yes,
I want to do one more little break here. It's going to be about a 30-second break, and we'll be right back. All right, you guys. So hang in there, Amelia. I promise I'm not throwing you out to the wind. All right, we go. What's Buzz Podcast wants to welcome Radioactive FM 88.6 in Wellington, New Zealand, Radio Perth, Australia, and RTL Radio 102.5 in Milan, Italy. Welcome aboard, and welcome to the Buzz. All right, and that's our last and final break of the show. We are with Stephanie Dudley on America's Best Podcast. What's the Buzz? Stephanie's an amputee. She works in a medical environment, professional medical environment. And I want to give them a little plug over here. She's a medical receptionist at Mary Bridge Children's Hospital in Washington State. And how long have you been there?
I've been there 7 months now.
Oh, you're a newbie there. What did you do before there?
I was at Kaiser, which is another medical facility, doing scheduling.
So same thing that I was doing.
That's what Amelia does. Yeah, scheduling.
Yeah. She knows exactly what I go through.
I know that company. They're in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Oregon, up that way, right?
Yes.
I know that company. I knew somebody who worked for them. They probably still do, for all I know. Amelia, questions for Stephanie Dudley?
Of course. You still go out and do photography, singing. I noticed that you do that. You had that singing. What's your favorite song to sing, music-wise, or?
Well, I love. I'm in a church band and I'm the backup singer, and sometimes I get the front stage and get to sing a song, like for Easter or something like that.
Did you say you're a singer?
A backup singer.
A backup singer?
In the band, yeah.
I'm putting up the big camera over here. You know what that means? That means you might have to sing for your supper tonight, honey. No, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm going to talk about what have you learned that you believe is critical for other people experiencing this, that you must have this knowledge. What's the one thing that you feel like you have to share with people watching? The one thing about being an amputee that's a must-have knowledge.
You must know that you might go through grief and loss. You must know that you have to eventually just get up adapt to your new environment. Get up and do it. You have to know that you're going to need upper body strength. So to do the weights, just even lifting your own body up and down on your walker, you just have to know that you can get through this, and that there are good legs out there, or arms, or fingers out there now.
That's critical for people to know. I want to tell everybody that should you need information, we have it for you. Email us at the show, subscribe to our newsletter. You can find us, and I want to put this out there for everybody. It's the first time I'm going to be doing this. So, and I want to make sure that everybody has all the current topical information. So take a look at what I'm about to put up on the screen here, and this is for everyone. This is our new link tree, and you can find this everywhere. We're worldwide with this. It's Linktree /WWTF radio. Everything you need regarding this and every show we've done can be found at Linktree. All right. If you need information, it's there. If you need numbers, it's there. If you need to contact Amelia or I, it's there. Ways to contact Stephanie if you want to. She's on Facebook. You can find her at Stephanie. I'm going to say, make it sure I get both of your names here. It's Lauren Stephanie Nadolski or Stephanie Dudley. You can find her that way too. All right. So if you want to reach out to Stephanie for a Q&A session, or have her on your show, there she is. Or you just want her to answer a whole bunch of questions and send her on her merry way. You can do that too.
I'd be happy to.
So, Amelia, final questions for Steph.
Have you gone back to where you actually tripped and fell? Just to gone back to.
Yes. Have you returned to the scene of the crime?
Yes. I'm very leery of curbs now. Walk over them since I can't feel the bottom of my foot. I don't know where it's going. I kind of have a habit of looking down when I walk.
It's interesting. I saw something I want to talk to you about, and it was a simple prospect. It's a very simple prospect. It was a woman learning to walk again. She had one perfectly good leg, and the other she had the prosthetic at the knee, right? And she was a little off-kiltered with balance. So what the doctor suggested that she do was literally to weight her body on one side with a 5-pound weight.
Oh.
And sure as shit, I can't make this shit up. I can't make it up.
Nope.
Sure as shit, doesn't she walk straighter and without a limp? Because what she did was she redistributed her weight. And something as simple, so simple. And the one weapon that every woman has, what do you think it is?
Her purse.
Her purse. Her handbag.
Yeah.
Her shoulder bag. Like they say here on the East Coast, her pocketbook. And I don't know where that term came from, but her shoulder bag, her purse. Yeah. Good. You can fit some heavy shit in those bags,
Yeah. We
carry
everything.
But make sure it's a cross-body bag so that it can hang.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to hold it with your hand because that'll throw you way the fuck off. I'm way off.
Right.
Well, I'm the king of the F-bombs, by the way. And I've done good. I only dropped a half the F-bomb tonight. I'm so very proud of myself.
What advice would you give someone that has just lost their leg going through the beginning stages of the amputee?
Be kind to yourself. Be patient.
Yeah. I would even add to that, not only be kind and be patient, but be tolerant of what you're going through, because it's going to aggravate you a lot more than you're going to get pleasure from it.
Yes.
You will get answers. You will get relief, but you're going to go through a lot of kicking and moaning and bitching and all this other stuff.
Absolutely.
First.
And remember to lean on family because family is always
Oh,
going to
yes.
be there for you. Don't to not turn them away.
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
don't push people away.
No.
No.
Amelia, tell
Yes.
everybody what's coming up on the podcast.
Oh yes, absolutely. We on Tuesday, we're gonna have my cousin Melissa come on the show. She also is an amputee as well. She lost her leg from the knee down, so she will be talking to us as well. She worked for the VA for a very long time, for many years. And
Yep.
also on June the 5th, we were going to have Michael Simmons Santos. He is an actual look-alike of Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Look-alike. And we're going to have him back
Yep.
on the show.
A look-alike. I thought he was Gene. Are you
We did
kidding
it
me?
first. When I looked, I was like, wait a minute, double take.
This guy, Stephanie, this guy looks more like Gene Simmons than Gene does. Okay.
Yes. People think
I
that
got a
that's him
guy
walking
coming
down
on the show. I got to tell everybody this. I have a guy. I have a guy coming on the show in June.
Yes.
June 6th.
The day after.
Yeah, day after. And his name is Danny Lopez. Well, let me tell you something. Danny is the world's #1 Johnny Depp lookalike.
I had to do a double take.
I want to. You know what, Amelia? Why don't you? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get his picture right now.
Yes.
Why don't you? Because I'm gonna leave you. Just girl talk, okay?
Okay.
You and Steph talk.
All right.
I got the double take. I mean, not double take. I got the comment that I look like Tori Spelling. I was
You
like,
do at
no.
first, and I was like, wait a minute, because of the red hair. She has red hair now. Sometimes she'll have red hair. Yeah.
Oh.
And I thought, okay. So other than, the advice and everything, I know that it was hard for you having to learn, to walk and, the exercising and the lifting weights. And
yes.
Did you ever have a point where you said, this is it for me, I'm done? Or did you ever tell yourself, I'm not going to give up?
Yeah, I had the, I hate to say it, suicidal thoughts.
No,
because,
really?
Yes, but I was saying I'm done, but no, I believe that things will get better, and they have. The only thing I'd like to say is I would love to see, I modeled, so a lot of things are cosmetic for me. So the foot, the feet they make, there's only 3 options.
Yes.
There's black, white, and I think a little tan, but the width, everything is all the same. So I would love to get together with whoever made the prosthetic leg, somebody to create a better foot that looks more like your other foot. Like my white, I am so white because I'm Scandinavian and German, and I'm so white that, I burn and then go back to white. I don't tan at all.
Same here. I do the same thing.
So, I mean, and so this foot that I have now, it's like, this is white. This is more tan than me. I mean, so you can totally tell that it's not my foot.
Are you ready for this? Check this out.
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
That's not him?
Nope, that's Danny Lopez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, double take.
What?
Yeah, that's Danny. He's going to be on the show June 6th.
Oh, crazy.
And he's the world's #1 Johnny Depp lookalike. He looks just like him.
Wow.
Just like scary.
He does. That is.
Just
I thought it was Johnny Depp.
No, it's not. Crazy, isn't it? That's Danny.
Like,
Danny
what?
Lopez will be with us. Yeah, he'll be with us
June,
right? June 6th.
June 6th on a Tuesday. Yes, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Beautiful.
Right.
I'll tell you what, this was a great show tonight. Really enjoyed it.
You have
First
like
of
2
all,
advocates.
Again, I
for
want
you.
to thank Stephanie for waking up with the butt crack of dawn in Washington State. It's still early, which is it's still breakfast time where she's not ready for lunch. Yeah.
I will look.
Crazy.
I will look into the horseback riding for you and the service dog for you, and also know that you have 2 people here that are activists for you as well. So do not give up. Don't ever think you can give up.
Absolutely.
And you have my number. You can call me anytime.
Thank you.
And we're going to keep you here after the show, so just stay with us. Let me bring myself up over here and the big screen so everybody can see. Okay, we have a wild month coming up. Some of the most incredible celebrity lookalikes you've ever seen. We've got my friend Michael Santos coming here, Danny Lopez. I've got a special surprise for you Elvis fans out there. Yep, you're going to think he returned from the grave, because this guy's scary looking. We also have a couple of really hard-hitting shows. We're going to venture back into CERN and the Mandela effect. And are we just a glitch in Matrix? Are we the Matrix? Or is the glitch something else? We don't know, but we're going to find out. By God, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
But until we do, we have to say goodbye to you for now. But let me say, for Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, for Stephanie, don't make me say Dudley. For Lauren, Stephanie Nadolski. I'm going to call you Lauren, okay?
All right.
Because I don't want to bring up bad memories.
Yeah.
I'll call you Lauren. Anyway, for everyone here at What's the Buzz Popcast, we normally don't do this on the weekend, as you can tell. But thank you for sharing your Saturday morning with us, everyone. Take care. Be kind to each other. God bless. We'll see you next week.
And happy Memorial Day.
Yes, indeedy. I want a hot dog and a burger. Bye-bye, folks.
Me too.